So I'm going to be playing a little bit of catch up on my reviews. I've been really busy this month with client work and YouTube collaborations. Thank you again, Josh. So be expecting a lot of videos to come out of my channel after today. So Bridge of Spies is directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance. After the FBI apprehends a Soviet spy, James Donovan is appointed to defend him in the court of law. However, when the Soviets capture a US pilot themselves, Donovan is then sent to negotiate a trade of the two prisoners. This movie is classic Spielberg. Every single shot has his distinct style, and I just ate it up. Now this movie may not be for everybody. I mean, it's very dialogue heavy and it's a really slow burning type of film. But what Spielberg has proven in his career is he can take what would normally be a boring subject matter and just make it very interesting. And then this entire movie is nothing but people sitting down and talking. But it's the combination of the great writing and Spielberg's use of the camera that really makes this film. And I have to talk about the writing. The Coen brothers' dialogue is near flawless, and when you combine that with Spielberg's genius, it's nothing short of cinematic gold. In a movie where it's nothing but people sitting down and talking, you need to have interesting dialogue. And there wasn't a moment where I wasn't interested in the conversations the characters were having or the speeches that Tom Hanks was giving. Out of all the things Spielberg is known for, it's his use of the camera that is just my favorite. He continually uses long takes, and then the blocking within that shot gives the impression of a cut when there really wasn't one there to begin with. And I just think it allows the audience to connect with the character and the actor's performance just a whole lot more had the movie been spliced up the traditional way. And another thing that's always present in his movies is the use of the motivated camera move. I just think it makes the camera movement feel a lot more natural, and it also gives clues to the audience as to what's important in the scene. And what can I say about Tom Hanks that hasn't already been said? I mean, he's easily one of the greatest actors of our time, and he gives such likability to the character of Donovan. Although this movie does take place in the Cold War, it's not about a war in the traditional sense. It's more about a war of conflicting ideals. And time again, Donovan is confronted with a situation like this, and though his decision is the more unpopular one, it's ultimately the right one. And Mark Rylance also gives a really good performance in this movie. He has such a quiet demeanor. His performance just gave off a very calm confidence about it. There's these moments where Tom Hanks was like, "Don't you ever get upset or nervous?" And he's like, "Would it help?" And there's no use in getting upset when everything that is happening is already set in motion. And that's really what I got out of his performance. Now, this isn't Spielberg's best work, but it is still a very well put together movie. But I do have a couple of issues with this film. There were a couple of moments where you're obviously supposed to have an emotional connection with what was happening, but those moments kind of felt a little underwhelming, because you can tell these scenes had the intent of having more of an emotional impact. They just really didn't hit their mark, and I think that had to do with my biggest problem with this movie was the underwhelming score, or the lack of the score within that scene. I think had the score been more present in certain points, or just a subtle little maybe single violin solo or cello solo or something underneath those moments, it really would have ramped those moments up a bit more and made it a little bit more impactful. Usually Spielberg has the great John Williams behind him in his movies, and I really think his presence was missing in this film. And I mean, the score was very serviceable in this film, but I think had Spielberg and Williams partnered for this movie, the score would have been more impactful, and those scenes that were missing the score would have been more impactful. But regardless of that, this still is a very good movie. The camera movements are great. The writing is fantastic. Tom Hanks gives a stellar performance in this, as always. So I'm giving Bridge of Spies a high five. So Bridge of Spies, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button below, help me out please. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Again, playing a little bit of catch up here. I've been really busy this past month. I'm going to be doing a review of Steve Jobs this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and see more videos. Bye, Andrew.